What's going on, y'all? Jarod Anderson here. Welcome to another episode of the Work to Wellness to Wealth podcast, where my mission is to simply help you work less, live well, and be wealthy. Come on now. Listen, my dopamine levels are high today. Man, I'm super excited, man, coming off a great weekend. Yesterday I celebrated my 49th birthday. Clap it up for me. And no shameless plug. Clap it up for me. But yeah, man, 49 years I celebrated yesterday, and it's been really good weekend. On Saturday, me and some of the fellas, we went to Top Golf and just chopped it up over hitting some golf balls, man. And then we just sat around and talked about everything from politics to religion to relationships. So I'm really full from the weekends, man. It's just something about being around your tribe of people. And then Sunday, my family and my wife and my son, they took me out to dinner. We went to Lazy Dog Cafe. That's a new spot of mine. Absolutely love it. So yeah, you got to go and check that out. And today, this week is School Social Workers Week. I'm not sure if y'all can see my shirt, but school social workers, baby, we rock, man. Shout out to all of my school social workers out there, all of my swag peeps. I'll see you at the conference. So, man, got a lot of great stuff going on. For that reason, this episode will not be that long because I got a lot of things I need to get done, some packing to do. And in the midst of all of that, I have this 30-day challenge going on. It's called the Tidy Up Your Financial Affairs Challenge. It's going on right now for the month of March, man. People are getting some results already. We just started, so it's not too late. I'm going to talk a little bit about that tonight. I'm going to share with you 3 tips to help you tidy up your finances. So listen, we're not trying to do the big, trying to build Rome in a day. We just want to tidy up a little bit. You know, when you got some company coming over and, you know, it's not really junky, but everything is not quite in place neatly in order. So you just got to, you know, your wife or your mom or whoever might say, hey, let's tidy up a little bit. So that's what I want you to do for this month. I just want you to tidy up a little bit. We're not going to do anything major. We're just going to tidy up a little bit. So if you are interested in that challenge, go to my website at JarodAnderson.com. Let me see if I can put that on the screen for you. Give me just a quick second. So go to my website, www.JarodAnderson.com. Go ahead. It's not too late to get signed up on. We just got started today, actually. And so all you need to do is enroll. It's only $29. So sometimes people want to coach with me, and my price for one-on-one coaching, I'm real particular about my time. So to get one-on-one attention with me is it's gonna cost way more than $29. But I still wanted to, for those who probably couldn't afford to coach with me one-on-one or any of my high-level coaching programs, this is for that person. And you're still going to have access to me because I'm going to I have a Facebook group as well. And so I'll be doing some lessons in the Facebook group, and then you can ask your questions there. So good place to get started. I have one lesson for you for the next 31 days. And it's just about 5 minutes of your time a day. So just imagine being able to go from clutter to clarity in just 31 days. Imagine having a financial game plan. Imagine it's almost like, you know, when your house is junky and you get everything cleaned up, you didn't dust it, you vacuumed, you got everything in this spot just the way you want it to be. You know what that feels like? That's the feeling that I want you to have after these 31 days. That feeling of, man, this is good because everything is in order. I know where everything is. Everything is where it needs to be, where I can access it. That's what I'm going for you in these next 31 days. So that's why I called it the Tidy Up Challenge, 31 days to tidy up your finances. So I don't want you to get overwhelmed and thinking like you're going to have to go through this long 8-week program and do 2 hours of work every night. No, I know your time is so busy and you don't necessarily have time. So for those of you who are on the go and you just want something quick, show me what to do. And you're willing to do the work. Now you got to be willing to do the work. If you're not willing to do the work, don't waste your time. But this challenge is for you. So go to my website, go ahead and enroll, and the lessons are already there waiting for you. Make sure you join the Facebook group too, so you can go ahead and get started. And I promise you, you will see a significant transformation in your finances at the end of these 31 days. So we'll get done probably around first couple of days of April. All right. So looking forward to seeing you there. What else I got to you? Let me do my financial disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor, and the information that I share on this podcast is for informational and educational purposes only. So please do your due diligence, fact check everything that I say, and make sure before you make any major financial decisions, contact a financial advisor who is familiar with the particulars of your unique financial situation. So I'm not responsible for any gains or any losses that you may incur as a result of this information, but I'm banking on you having more gains than losses. So, hey, I'm just saying. So take that as you will, do what you need to do, and let's go ahead and get started. So 3 tips to help you tidy up your financial affairs. Now, these are things that I'm actually doing right now. So I can give you broad general things, but I thought it would be so good if I could share with you things that I'm actually doing right now and even tell you the stories of why I'm doing it and what it actually looks like. So get out a piece of paper and let me see if I got 3. I think I got 3. Yeah, I can condense it down to 3. So like I said, we're gonna get in and we're gonna get out tonight. All right, so this is the first thing that you need to do when you're ready to tidy up your finances. And just imagine, I'm gonna give you 31 of these in the challenge. So I'm telling you, go ahead and get enrolled in that challenge. But number 1 is you have to do a financial audit. I don't care where you are in your finances, whether you're just getting started or whether you've been in studying finances and personal finance for years, you have to do a financial audit. So this is what I did. I do it at the start of every year, probably really going into February. January is really my health protocols month. So starting the year out, I'm just really doing this audit with my body. So I'm looking at my eating, I'm looking at my exercising, I'm looking at, my nutritional deficiencies or things that I may need to be more conscious of eating more of and cut down on. So March is the wellness part. I mean, January is the wellness part. February is where I really start looking at the finances. So I do the finances for our family. So do a financial audit. And when you do an audit, there's 4 things that I want you to look for. And this is actually what I did. And I'm still in the process of kind of wrapping this process up. Number 1, you want to look for ways to save money. So you want to go through all of your accounts, all of your subscriptions, your bank accounts, everything. And you want to look for ways that you can save money, which also means that you're going to be looking at areas where you may be wasting money, subscriptions that you're no longer using, fees that you may be paying. And I'm going to talk about that in a few minutes. So I'll get back to that. The second part is ways to save money. You want to look for ways to cut unnecessary expenses. So that's really important too. And I'll get to that in a few minutes too. I just want to give you all of these right now. The next area, when you do this financial audit, you want to look for ways to better track your, you want to engage in better tracking and record keeping. So a lot of times we struggle financially just because we're not keeping good records. We're not keeping track of where our money is going, what's going out, what's coming in, what percentage of my income am I spending for household expenses, which percentage of my income am I spending for just fun things. So you need to know all of those numbers. You need to have a spreadsheet or something that can tell you exactly every month, can give you a snapshot of the percentage of your money that's going in different areas. And I'm going to tell you exactly how I do that for our finances in a few minutes. And then next, you want to look for ways to generate more income. All right. So let's dig into this. So one of the first thing that I did, I started looking at all of the bank accounts that we had. And I mean, we have like we've had a lot of bank accounts, and some of those bank accounts have even sub buckets. So I had one account with a particular bank where I had three buckets where I was putting money in, three different buckets for three different purposes. And those were like our fund money, and we have a sewing account, and we have a travel account. So I had the main account of this bank, and I had the three buckets. Well, as I was going through looking at our expenses and just kind of going through and seeing what we had been spending, one thing that I realized is that for one of those accounts, I was getting charged $7 every month, because if you don't maintain a certain balance, they charge you a $7 fee. And so this particular account, I really wasn't trying to have that much money in there. And so when I went back and looked, I didn't even realize it because I really didn't keep up with the account that much. We were getting charged $7 every month. So I started doing some math, and $7 a month times 12, 70 at 14. Oh man, they're getting about $84 a year. I could be investing that money in some crypto or something. So I had to make a decision. Am I going to keep this account and continue to get charged this amount of money because it was convenient, and I had this account for a long time? But I'm thinking, man, I'm losing money getting charged these fees every month, and it's not likely that I'm going to have this account over $500. So I said, okay, so we're going to need to make some changes. And so I started looking at all of my other accounts, and I was just like, another thing that I'm realizing with these accounts is that I'm not making any money. Like, I'm keeping all of this money in these accounts, and we're not getting any interest from these banks. So that was another thing that I thought of. So what I decided to do, I said, okay, I'm going to close down all these extra accounts. And I went and did a search. It's like, now where can I put this money where we can actually at least get something back? I know interest rates have been, the Feds have been cutting interest rates over the last several months. And so I know, we're not going to make as high as you once could make, near 5%, which I did find an account where you can make close to that. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But I wanted something where I would at least was going to get something consistent on my money. So I did some research, and I found this online bank called Ally. Some of you probably are familiar with it. So when I looked at it, I saw that Ally also have these buckets set up. So I literally closed down one main account, three buckets, a second bank account that had two buckets, and I was able to put all of this under one account in Ally. So now what I'm doing, I closed down that. So now I'm not getting charged that monthly fee. Ally doesn't charge those monthly fees. And at the time of this recording, I think Ally was paying 3.8, 3.7%. So it may not seem like a whole lot, but you got to think from the major banks like but I won't call any bank's name because I don't know how that works on here. But yeah, I know. Go and check and see if you're getting any interest on your money. Okay. So most of those major banks, you get pennies, maybe a penny or two every month. And so I really started thinking, like, why am I keeping all of this money in these banks where I'm not getting anything? So number one is do your financial audit, ways to save money, way to cut unnecessary expenses, better tracking and record keeping, and how to generate more income. That's what you're doing during this audit. Second thing, and this is what I'm leading into from what I just told you, offload some of your money out of traditional bank accounts that are paying you no interest. So that's what I did next, like I told you. So I closed down. I didn't close it because I might, have a need for it later, but I just took all of the money in it and I put it into Ally. and they have a high yield savings account. So tip number 2 is to offload some of your money out of your traditional bank accounts, yielding no interest, for a high yield saving account. Now, here again, I can't tell you how to spend your money, what to do with your money. I'm just telling you what I did. So you need to do your own research, figure out what works for you. You may not like Ally, you may find something else, but at least do the research and find out something that's going to at least give you some type of return on your money. So Ally was one thing that I did. Second thing, I had a couple of thousands that I was keeping in account. And so I was like, okay, I'm keeping all of this money in these accounts and they're not getting any interest. So I said, where can I offload some of this money where I can at least get some return on it? So this is where crypto come in. So one of the exchanges where I buy my crypto, it's called Uphold. They have a brokerage account. Now pay close attention to this. Now Uphold has a brokerage account where you can actually get, I think it's 4.4% on any money that you keep there in that account. The minimum amount, I think, is $1,000 to get the 4.4%. So this is a crypto exchange, but they have a brokerage account under that umbrella. That's why you got to keep up with things, because there are so many opportunities, some that not even directly related to you buying crypto. So this acts like a bank account. So I said, so rather than keep all of this money in this expense account, what I did, I moved $1,000. I put it into this Uphold account. And now I'm getting 4.4% interest with my money sitting in the Uphold versus 0.000000001% in a traditional bank. So just little small things that you can do is tidying up. Nothing big. This isn't requiring you to do anything major, just making some small shifts and doing a little bit of research. So that's tip number 2, offload some of your money out of these traditional bank accounts, yielding no interest, and put them in a high yield savings account. So do your own research. You find your own high yield savings accounts that pay something that would work for you. But there are some out there. So here again, once you go through your audit and you kind of see where you can move some money around, then you do the research to find out where you can put this money. So I hope you all are getting some value out of this. I wanted to keep this real practical, and I wanted to share with you what I'm actually doing with my money and my family's money. All right, and here's the last tip. I told y'all this was going to be a quick one tonight. The last tip is you have to upgrade your record keeping. So this is probably one of the most important steps, because you can have money coming in. You could do all of the other things, but if you're not keeping good records of where this money going, how much is coming in, what percentage am I spending here? So one thing that one app that I use is called YNAB. You need a budget. So I've been using this for probably going on about 2 years. And I'm telling y'all, when you talk about gives you a peace of mind and clarity and a clear picture of where your money is going, YNAB has been a game changer for how I handle finances in our family. So now I know exactly where our dollars are going every month, and I can even categorize it. So I know around what date money should be moving. And so sometimes I might forget to pay a bill. And the good thing about YNAB is that it links up with your actual bank account. So when a transaction clears in our regular bank, then it syncs over to YNAB. So there have been occasions where, just paying bills, I usually pay them all at the beginning of the month. There have been some instances where I forgot to pay a bill and I didn't even realize that I had forgotten. But then when I'm checking my YNAB and I see the expenses that have cleared, I'm realizing, okay, this is cleared, this is cleared, this is cleared by the 1st, this clears by the 5th. And now it's like the 10th, and I'm realizing, okay, this should have cleared by the 7th. And when it doesn't clear, then I was like, I wonder if I paid this. So now I have what's a good word for it? kind of like a checks and balances, I guess is the best way. I have a backup plan or checks and balances that lets me know if I'm actually doing what I need to be doing with our monthly expenses. So in this particular case, I went back and looked and I realized like, oh, I forgot to pay it. But if I didn't have YNAB, I wouldn't have remembered, I wouldn't have gotten that notification. And so I probably would have ended up paying the late fee. This was another good example of how good record keeping helped me. And this just happened last month. I realized when I looked here again, looking at my record keeping in YNAB, I realized that I saw the same expense. It was slightly different. It was our utility bill, but the name was slightly different. But I realized the amount was exactly the same. And so I was like, this couldn't be two different things because they both had the word utilities in it. But, there was that doubt in my mind, was this something different? But I didn't recognize this expense. And it had already cleared for the money I budgeted for that particular expense. So when I went and looked at it, I was like, man, I think we got charged twice. And sure enough, I called the company and they charged us twice. I wouldn't have caught that probably if I didn't have good record keeping and I wasn't keeping up with where our money was going. So I called and they deposited the money back into our account and we got that $150 back. So that's why good record keeping is so important. So like I said, YNAB is what I use, but I also use Excel spreadsheet. So you don't have to, I like tech stuff, so I like to geek out with apps and stuff. But my wife, she's more simple. She just wants to give me a spreadsheet and, she can doctor up a Excel spreadsheet so I can put the expenses in and it can show you a graph of the percentage of what you're spending in what particular area. And so just for communication purposes, for a long time, I just used YNAB because I was keeping up with the finances. But, I thought it's like, man, well, I know she would like to know exactly what our money is doing too. And so here again, upgrading our record keeping, because I already had this information on YNAB, all I had to do was take it from YNAB, transfer it to the spreadsheet, and now I can share the spreadsheet with her. But here, another added benefit with the spreadsheet, I'm doing this every month. So now every month, so like for March, I went and created our budget on what I'm estimating that we're going to spend. And because I have the data for a whole year, barring unexpected things that come up, I can almost predict how much we're going to spend within a couple of dollars. And for the things that may come up that, miscellaneous, I have a miscellaneous account that I put a couple of $100s in for miscellaneous expenses. So I come really close to calculating exactly how much money is coming in and how much is going out, and the percentage our debt to income ratio, the percentage of what's coming in to what's going out, and then I can even see how much we're keeping. So all of this is through the spreadsheet, and I get to communicate with my wife. So that's like a win-win, because now I'm going to start doing this every month, and then I can share it with her. And then if she has any questions or any inputs, she can provide her input as well. So that's it, y'all. Real simple things, man. Real simple things. So if you just follow those three things, I guarantee you're going to have a greater peace of mind where your finances are concerned. So that's it. That's it for this episode. Kept it under 30 minutes. We're at about 23 minutes. So definitely go ahead and sign up for the 31-day tidy up your finances challenge, 31 days to tidy up your finances challenge. Go ahead and sign up for that. Registration will be open until the 10th. So it is March the 3rd today. So I'm going to keep the registration open for another week or so, and then I'm going to shut it down, and then you won't be able to get in until I decide to do this again. All right. So again, I still got my website up there, JarodAnderson.com. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. Hope you got some value out of this episode. Please help me to get the word out with the podcast. Share it with somebody. Go and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Path to Financial Independence. I got a lot of love with the episodes that we did on crypto, so I definitely appreciate you all for tuning into that episode, and even those of you who joined my YouTube page. So please join my YouTube page, because I'm definitely trying to get my subscriber base up so we can reach even more people. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next week.